Welcome back, everybody, to Growth Within, the series where we like to dive deep into personal growth strategies.
Yeah.
And today we are tackling a pretty massive one.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within.
Mm-hmm.
And to help us out with that, we're also going to be looking at the really helpful summary over at growth-within.com.
Right. I think that this deep dive is going to be really fascinating.
I think so, too.
It's an incredible book.
Yeah.
It's not just motivational fluff. It's
Nay.
It gives you like a framework for understanding human behavior.
Yeah, it's not just be your best self, rah-rah.
Yeah.
It's like, here are some actual tools to get there.
Exactly. And
that's just what we're all about here at Growth Within, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
One of the first things that really stood out to me was how Robbins emphasizes the power of decisions, even the small ones, in shaping our lives.
Oh, yeah. And he tells that great story about deciding to never touch beer again after
a particularly bad experience.
Yeah, after a pretty bad experience as a teenager.
Yeah.
Way too much beer and a very messy kitchen.
Right.
And he decided to link pain to that behavior.
Yeah, and it stuck with him.
Like, he literally rewired his brain to move away from pain and towards pleasure.
It's a great example of what he calls neuroassociative conditioning, or NAC.
Oh, yeah.
It's the idea that we can change our behaviors by consciously linking pain to unwanted actions.
Okay.
And pleasure to desired ones.
So it's not just about willpower then.
Right.
It's about like actually rewiring your responses.
Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
But then he takes it a step further.
Yeah.
With this concept of the master system.
Yeah, the master system is essentially the combination of our references, our beliefs, our values, and the rules we create for ourselves.
Okay.
It's like
the operating system?
The operating system that runs our lives.
Okay, that shapes our reality.
Exactly.
So you're saying if we change our master system, we can change our reality.
Well, think of it this way. Our beliefs are often generalizations about our past.
Right.
And sometimes based on misinterpretations of experiences.
Okay.
If we don't challenge them, these beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies.
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But also kind of empowering.
Right.
So how do we go about changing those beliefs?
No.
Especially the ones that are holding us back.
Robbins talks about shifting from a mindset of I can't to how can I.
Okay.
It's about actively challenging those limiting beliefs and replacing them with ones that actually support your goals.
Okay, speaking of goals.
Right.
Robbins has this idea of a magnificent obsession.
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty intense.
It is intense in a good way.
Okay.
It's about finding a goal that truly inspires you.
Yeah.
A driving force that pulls you forward and gives you a sense of purpose.
So it's not just any goal.
No.
It's something that like really lights you up.
Exactly.
It's something you're obsessed with in a positive way.
In a positive way, right? And Robbins offers a detailed process for setting these compelling goals.
Yeah.
In all areas of life, your career, relationships, even your health.
He even gives you techniques to program your nervous system for success.
Right.
Like visualization affirmations.
Yes.
Even changing your vocabulary.
It's called transformational vocabulary.
Okay.
And it's the idea that the words we use impact our emotions and actions. Yeah. He encourages us to replace negative words with more positive and empowering ones.
So like instead of saying, I'm stressed, you could say, I'm a little challenged right now.
Exactly.
It seems so simple, but the change in language can actually shift your emotional state.
It's like hacking your own nervous system by choosing words that make you feel better and help you perform better.
I like that. And it's not just words.
Right.
He also talks about the power of metaphors.
Yes.
Remember that story about the guy who felt trapped in a business deal?
Yes.
Like he was in a box with no way out.
Robbins helped him shift his state by changing the metaphor.
Yeah.
He said, as far as this box idea is concerned, I don't know about you, but I know no one could ever build a box big enough to hold me.
Wow.
Right.
That's powerful. Just by changing the way he framed this situation.
Yeah.
He completely shifted his emotional state.
Yeah. And it highlights how we can use our imaginations to break free from limiting beliefs.
Okay. Robbins doesn't shy away from the more challenging parts of human experience either.
No, he doesn't.
He talks about how we develop moving away from values.
Yeah.
Things that we want to avoid at all costs, like rejection,
failure,
and those avoidance values mixed with our often rigid rules can really keep us stuck.
Absolutely.
So he provides steps to identify those limiting rules.
Right.
And replace them with ones that support your goals.
It's about ensuring your internal judge and jury system works for you, not against you.
So instead of letting fear and self-doubt rule, we create rules that empower us.
Robbins says the key to happiness is to design our rules so it's easy to feel good and hard to feel bad.
Oh.
It's like,
I like that.
Stacking the deck in your favor.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah.
But what about our emotions?
Right.
They can feel so overwhelming sometimes.
Well, Robbins argues that we're not just victims of our emotions.
Oh.
We have the power to choose how we feel, even in challenging moments.
Wait, are you saying we can control our emotions?
Not control exactly,
Okay.
but influence.
Okay.
He offers a toolkit of strategies, changing your physiology, using empowering questions, even changing your focus.
Okay.
He sees negative emotions as action signals.
Okay.
Messages telling us something needs to change.
So instead of ignoring them,
Right.
we use them as fuel for positive change.
Exactly.
I like that.
He even provides a list of 10 emotions of power that we can cultivate.
Yeah.
Things like love, gratitude, curiosity, excitement, and determination.
So it's about recognizing that emotions aren't our enemies.
Right.
They can be powerful allies.
Yes.
In creating a life we love.
That's a great way to put it. And Robbins applies these principles to specific areas of life.
Okay.
Including physical health, finances, relationships, and even our perception of time.
So he doesn't just give you a bunch of theories.
No.
He shows you how to apply them to real life situations.
Exactly. For example, when it comes to physical health.
Yeah.
He goes beyond generic diet and exercise advice.
Okay.
He dives into the science of metabolism and the importance of mindset.
Yeah.
In achieving well-being.
It's about understanding that our physical health is connected to our mental and emotional states.
Right. And he even offers insights into using visualization and other mental techniques.
Oh, wow.
To enhance physical performance.
Okay.
It's fascinating stuff.
Now let's talk about money.
Okay.
That's a topic a lot of people have complicated feelings about.
Yes. Robbins acknowledges those mixed feelings, especially the belief that wealth comes at the expense of things like time or freedom.
So how does he address that?
He challenges those beliefs and offers a different perspective on wealth, one based on abundance.
Okay.
And using money as a tool to create a meaningful life.
Okay, so it's not just about getting rich. It's about using money to create the life you want.
Exactly. He also emphasizes giving back and using wealth to make a positive impact.
Okay.
He sees contribution as a key ingredient to happiness and fulfillment.
Okay, so we've covered our beliefs.
Right.
Our goals, our emotions, our health and finances.
Yes.
But what about relationships?
Relationships. Robbins believes that successful relationships are less about finding the right person and more about becoming the right person.
So it starts with working on ourselves before we even enter a relationship.
That's a big part of it.
Okay.
He challenges us to take responsibility for our own happiness and not accept someone else to complete us.
Makes sense. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
But he doesn't just leave it there, does he?
No, he gives practical advice on communication, resolving conflict, and building a relationship based on respect and support.
And finally, there's time.
Yes.
Something we all wish we had more of.
Robbins sees time management as more than just scheduling. He encourages us to shift our focus from the demands of today to the creation of a compelling future.
So it's about having a vision that pulls us forward and gives us direction.
Exactly. He even introduces the concept of time distortion, suggesting we can alter our experience of time by changing our focus and emotional state.
So it's not just about managing time.
Right.
It's about mastering our relationship with it.
Absolutely.
This has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
We've barely scratched the surface of Awaken the Giant Within.
Yeah.
And already I feel like I've learned so much.
It's a book packed with practical wisdom and actionable strategies for personal growth.
It's clear that Robbins isn't just about quick fixes or surface level changes.
No.
He wants to help people create a foundation for a life of sustained growth and fulfillment.
And he provides the tools to do just that.
Absolutely. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Okay.
Stick around. There's so much more to uncover.
And we're back diving deeper into the world of Awaken the Giant Within. One thing that really strikes me is Robbins' holistic approach to personal growth. He doesn't just focus on one area, He recognizes how our physical, emotional, and even financial well-being are all connected.
Yeah, it's like you can't just compartmentalize your life. It's all interconnected.
Exactly, and he provides some really concrete strategies for creating lasting change in all those areas.
Well, let's talk about some of those strategies. I'm particularly intrigued by this neuroassociative conditioning, or NAC. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's not sci-fi, but it is powerful. Remember how we talked about linking pain to unwanted behaviors and pleasure to desired ones? NAC is a 6-step process for doing just that.
Okay, break it down for me. What are the steps?
The first step is about clarity, deciding what you truly want and what's blocking you. Then comes leverage, where you associate massive pain to staying the same and massive pleasure to changing risks. It's about getting real with yourself and the consequences of inaction.
So it's not just about setting a goal.
No.
It's about making the consequences of not reaching that goal really, really clear.
Exactly. And once you've got that leverage, you move to step 3, interrupting the limiting pattern. This could mean changing your routine, trying something completely different, anything to shake things up.
Robbins tells that story about the guy addicted to chocolate, right?
Yeah.
How he helped him break the pattern by making him eat nothing but chocolate for 9 days.
Yes, it sounds extreme, but it created the leverage the guy needed to finally break free from chocolate. It's about creating a radical shift to interrupt that old pattern.
Okay, I can see how that would be effective, but what happens after you've interrupted the pattern?
Then comes step 4, creating a new empowering alternative. This means replacing the old behavior with something positive and rewarding. It has to be something you enjoy, so you're more likely to stick with it.
So it's not just about stopping a bad habit.
Right.
It's about replacing it with a good one.
Right. And that's where reinforcement comes. In step 5, reward yourself for every step you take towards your new goal. No matter how small, it keeps you motivated and reinforces that new behavior.
I like that it's like giving yourself a little pat on the back along the way.
Exactly. And finally, step 6 is conditioning the new pattern until it becomes automatic. This takes repetition and practice, but eventually that new behavior becomes second nature, like a new highway in your brain.
So NAC is about more than just willpower. It's about rewiring your brain to create lasting change. That's fascinating.
It really is. And speaking of rewiring, remember how we talked about transformational vocabulary?
Right. The idea that the words we use can actually change our emotional state, like using challenged instead of overwhelmed.
It's about being mindful of the language we use and consciously choosing words that empower us. Language is a powerful tool for shaping our thoughts and ultimately our reality.
And then there's the power of metaphors, which always fascinates me. How a simple shift in perspective can completely change how we feel about something.
Like the woman who is terrified of public speaking, Robbins helped her reframe it from a performance to a conversation, and it completely changed her experience.
It's amazing how much power our minds have over our experiences.
It really is. But Robbins doesn't just focus on our internal world. He also stresses the importance of our external environment, the people, places, and things we surround ourselves with.
So he's saying our environment actually influences our behavior.
Absolutely. He encourages us to create a space that inspires us, that reflects our values and aspirations. Yeah. It could be as simple as decluttering your workspace or adding some plants to your home.
I've definitely noticed that when my space is cluttered, my mind feels cluttered too.
It's a real thing, and it's not just our physical space, it's also the people we choose to be around. Robbins suggests surrounding yourself with a personal board of advisors, people who support and inspire you.
That makes sense. We all need people in our corner who believe in us and push us to grow. But it's not just about our immediate circle, right?
Right. He also talks about invisible mentors, those incredible people throughout history whose stories and wisdom we can learn from reading their biographies, listening to their speeches. It's like tapping into their knowledge and experience.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and wise advisors, both present and from the past, helping you on your journey. I love that.
It's a powerful concept. But Robbins also reminds us that all this knowledge and inspiration is useless without action.
It's like having a map to buried treasure, but never actually going to dig it up.
Exactly. He encourages us to view life as a laboratory, to experiment, to try new things, and to learn from our experiences.
So it's about taking action, even if it means making mistakes along the way.
Exactly. And it's about celebrating our successes, no matter how small, and learning from our failures without beating ourselves up. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. It's about continuous learning and evolution.
And maybe even a little bit of stumbling along the way.
Absolutely. But it's the getting back up and continuing to move forward that matters most.
Yeah.
Remember, it's about progress, not perfection.
This is all great stuff. But how does it all connect to making a difference in the world?
That's a great question, and it's something Robbins addresses directly. He believes that personal growth is not just about improving our own lives, it's about making a positive impact on the world around us.
So it's about taking all this inner work we've been talking about and channeling it outward.
Exactly. It's about finding our magnificent obsession, a compelling goal or mission that inspires us to tap into our full potential and contribute to something bigger than ourselves.
So that could be anything from starting a business that creates jobs to volunteering in your community to simply being a more present and supportive friend or family member.
Exactly. It's about finding your unique contribution and taking action to make it happen. Robbins reminds us that even small acts of kindness and generosity can ripple outwards and have a significant impact.
It's like the butterfly effect. Even the smallest actions can have far-reaching consequences.
Exactly. He encourages us to view ourselves as agents of change, individuals who have the power to make a positive difference in the world, no matter how small.
This is all so inspiring. It's like he's saying we all have the potential to be superheroes in our own unique ways.
I love that analogy, and the best part is that we don't have to wait for some special power to be bestowed upon us. The power is already within us, just waiting to be awakened.
This has been such an incredible conversation, but there's still so much more to uncover, right? We'll be back after a short break to wrap things up and explore what it really means to awaken your giant within. And we're back for our final look at Awaken the Giant Within. You know, we've covered so much ground, rewiring our brains, transforming our vocabularies, even the power of metaphors.
Right.
But it really boils down to action, right?
Yeah, Robbins is a big believer in action. Knowledge without action is like having a sports car and never taking it out of the garage.
You got to put the pedal to the metal. And speaking of putting things into action, Robbins talks a lot about mastering time. We all have the same 24 hours.
Right.
But it's what we do with them that makes all the difference.
Yeah, he's got this idea of the what he calls the urgent important matrix.
Okay.
And it really helps you prioritize, not all tasks are created equal. Some things are urgent and important, some are just urgent, and so on.
It's so easy to get caught up in those urgent tasks and feel like you're just constantly putting out fires.
Yeah, that's where the matrix comes in. It's about making time for the important tasks, even if they're not screaming for attention right now.
So it's about being proactive and making sure those important things don't get lost in the shuffle.
Exactly. And he even suggests scheduling in time for fun and relaxation.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Might seem counterintuitive, but it's actually crucial for maintaining our energy and creativity, Burning the candle at both ends only works for so long.
Right, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
Taking care of ourselves so we can show up better in all areas of life.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another really powerful concept, which is living with a magnificent obsession.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier,
Yeah.
but I think we could dive a little deeper. What does it mean to have a magnificent obsession?
It's about having a driving force, a purpose that pulls you forward and gives your life direction. Not just a goal, but something that truly inspires you. It lights you up from the inside out.
So how do you find that? How do you find your magnificent obsession? Does it feel like something you need to discover or something you could just choose?
I think Robbins believes that everyone has one.
Okay.
It's about connecting with something bigger than yourself, something that contributes to the world, leaves a legacy.
So that could be anything from like tackling a huge global issue or making a difference in your local community or even just being like the best parent you can be or a friend.
Yeah, anything, and taking action to make it a reality.
Yeah, and that's where all these tools and strategies we've been discussing come in. It's like Robbins gives you the map, the compass, the backpack.
Right.
But you're the one that's got to actually take the journey.
He reminds us that life is an adventure, embrace the challenges, never give up on your dreams.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive into Awaken the Giant Within, what's one thing that really stood out to you?
For me, it's the power of decisions, Every choice we make, even the small ones, when done consistently over time, can have a huge impact.
Yeah.
We're not just passengers on this ride. We're the ones in the driver's seat.
I love that. What about you, dear listener? What's resonating with you today? Maybe it's changing your vocabulary or setting a truly compelling goal, maybe discovering your own magnificent obsession.
Whatever it is, remember, taking action is key. Even a small step forward is still progress.
Absolutely. Remember, you have the power to create the life you want, to awaken your giant within, and to make a real difference in the world. It's been amazing exploring Awaken the Giant Within with you today.
Thanks for joining us. We hope this deep dive has inspired you to get out there and create a life that truly lights you up.
Until next time, keep growing.